So I just got home from work and I couldn't wait to get me some Naruto. And especially after the 2 episodes of filler we had last week, I was really looking forward to some fast-paced action. And although I wasn't really given that, can't say I was let down, not one bit. This week felt like it was a lot slower paced than usual, although if you were to actually look at it compared to the manga, they completed about a whole chapter in this episode, which is pretty fast. The reason this episode managed to feel slow paced and fast paced at the same time was due to the amazing writing that went on. The visualization and imagery used on characters such as Sasuke and Obito this episode was fantastic. With shows like Naruto and other shonens, usually we're told exactly what we're supposed to feel and what the characters feel during the show, usually by one of the other characters or the character themselves. This episode threw that on its head and done the complete opposite. The whole way through the episode we were never directly told how one of the characters felt. Instead we were shown imagery that was really well done, of the characters earlier on in their life being torn apart from one another. For example, Sasuke had a picture of him, Kakashi, Sakura and Naruto, and while he was arguing with Naruto, a cut went down the piece of paper and cut Naruto's face in half just to show how he's trying to tear himself away from the past that he once had. Vice versa to that, we had Obito, who was being torn apart by the power of the Jubi and was trying to pull himself back together, and this was done by showing the picture of Obito, Rin, Kakashi and Minato together, and all of the pictures being ripped away, each person one by one, until Rin was the last person being ripped away. And just the thought of losing Rin was enough for him to bring all of that back together. And this was masterfully done. I've not seen an episode of Naruto written this well in a very long time. This episode of Naruto starts off with showing the results of Obito taking in the chakra of the Ten Tails, and what it shows is that Obito is in fact unable to control the Ten Tails, and that the Ten Tails is completely taken over his mind. There is a scene where Obito is told by Minato to stop, and he replies with "Obito" like that, really slowly done. And this shows that the Ten Tails is completely taken over and he has no memory of who he really is. That brings up my only real complaint for this episode, and that's the character design of Obito as the Jinchuriki and the Ten Tails. I really feel as though they could have done a much better character design, or at least a better colour palette. For example, back in the old days with the Rinnegan, back when Pain had it, you would notice the Rinnegan would have a slightly purple bluish tinge to it, whereas now it's just a plain grey and it makes it not look as epic as it used to. The exact same has been done for the skin of the new Jinchuriki. See some concept art before where the Jinchuriki Ten Tails had actually been a slightly bluer colour and actually almost looked see-through, and he looked intense, he looked godlike. Although now we just have this grey mush, especially when he goes all puffy like in Akira. Yeah. There are a couple of other moments in this episode that definitely had me laughing. One, for example, would be when Hashirama explains that he thinks Obito is now stronger than him. And you just see Tobirama turn to him and be like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, he's kind of just the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. I definitely had to chuckle at that bit. Hashirama showing that he's a bit of a cocky prick at times. There's a part in this episode I also feel went unnoticed by a lot of viewers, and that's when Sasuke actually saves Naruto from Obito's attack. Although he saved him, it doesn't feel like he saved him like he did before when he saved him from Haku and Zabuza. It feels more impure this time. It feels like he's saving him only so that he can kill him later on, almost saying like, only I can kill Naruto, nobody else, which we see a lot in anime. And I definitely like the foreshadowing that's going on there between Naruto and Sasuke, showing that they are going to have a fight in the future. I'm really looking forward to that fight to see all the new powers and abilities they use against each other, and see who they have come out on top this time. I really think it's going to be Naruto though. All in all, this episode was a really strong episode, and not in the usual way that I would consider Naruto episodes strong. There wasn't a lot of action and there wasn't a lot that really went on, but there was some really strong storytelling. They managed to make me feel for characters that I never really felt before, like Obito, who I've pretty much hated up until now, even if he was still preaching about the same things. Oh, Rin. One thing this episode did succeed in was trying to make me want to watch the next episode, because I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Minato's attack was supposed to be. With all of that said, I give this episode somewhere between 70 and 75%, and as I thought it was a better episode than usual, I'll give it 73%, just being picky. As there was some amazing storytelling done in this episode, although we definitely missed out on some of the action that we used to in Naruto episodes. And if you're used to just watching punches and kicks to the face, then you're really not going to enjoy this episode, as there wasn't really that much of it. But all in all, looking forward to next week's episode, looking forward to seeing what other people thought of this episode, and with that said, see you later, chaps. Yeah.